But strange things happen when God is creating a room for Esther. Strange things are going to begin to happen in your life. Do not despise a voice by reason of its cover.
My God.
Even at your most frustrated, Esther, you were still favored. Many people think that when life goes south, that God goes south with life. But I appointed you and chose you because I knew what I planted in you. You are moving. You are rearranging. Rearranging our destiny. Lord, you are speaking. Speaking out a word in you. Lord, you're reminding. Today, reconnect with that person that first encountered God. The first time you heard about Him. I'm not talking about the time when you heard about Him and you say, no, well, I'm still okay in the world. I'm talking about the first time. Those small, futile words, very simple words were spoken to you, but they had meaning for the first time. They had meaning for the first time. When someone told you God loves you, and for the very first time you didn't just hear it, but you felt it. Some of you were in some of your deepest and darkest life situations. And you heard that small word and it changed the landscape of your situation. That He loved you. That He loved you. And you felt it. God, revive us again in our days. Pour out your Spirit once again in our days. Let us feel you like never before. Experience you in a fresh and a new way. We are yearning and we are thirsty. And you have placed voices inside of us, messages to the world. Some of us are sent to 1. Some of us are sent to 10. Some of us are sent to 100. Some of us are sent to 1,000. Some of us sitting in here are sent to 1,000,000. In so many different avenues, they don't necessarily need to stand on a pulpit, but wherever you have planted them, God, revive the voices that have died, that many more may encounter you and your beauty. That many more may encounter you and be able to truly experience the power of your Spirit. With that, for that voices today are going to be lifted as it was in the times of Esther, when you gave her a message and you positioned her and strategically paused her, God, to save the lives of many, because you're stirred up her gifting from within. She was able to touch me. If you do it, you get the blessing. You position yourself for destiny. But even if you don't, deliverance must still happen. I'm trying to stir you up because there are people in this place, God has been speaking to you about something. Some of you have such tactful excuses, you have woven them in such a way that even you now believe them.
My God, my God.
You have convinced yourself that that business, you are not the right person to start it. You have just convinced yourself that that ministry that is going to touch the lives of orphans and the widows, that somebody else will just do it. You have convinced yourself that maybe, just maybe, I'm not the right person. And God says that maybe if you believe so, maybe you're not. But I appointed you and chose you because I knew what I planted in you. So if you don't, Esther, if you don't approach the king for the deliverance of my people, deliverance is going to come anyways. But I had chosen you. I saw you fit. I had marked you. I had anointed you. I had appointed. I know you don't. I know you're an orphan, Esther. I know your background disqualifies you.
Come on.
I know you grew up in poverty.
Amen.
I know you do not have the exposure to the corridors of power. I know you don't know how to talk to a king. I knew when I chose you. I know, Esther. I know you don't know how to dress properly. I know when your parents died and you were frustrated, you thought that was the end of you. I know your insecurities. I know you're standing in the midst of all these beautiful people that are coming from other high-profile places. I know you're in there and you don't think you're going to make it as the queen. I know your insecurities. I know your limitations. I affected them all in the equation.
My God.
I calculated, factored in everything I made you to be. Weaknesses involved. Your limitations involved. The equation balances on my account. The equation balances on my ledger. The math works, Esther. Don't worry. Don't worry. I know all your excuses. But I've still given you a voice. I've still given you a word for such a time as this. I've still appointed you, strategically positioned you in the palace, and you're going to deliver the children that are my children for my glory. So I've come to realize through studying the story of Esther that voices come in all shapes and sizes. Voices come in shapes and sizes in all forms and genders. Esther was a woman, and in her times, women were not even allowed or permitted to be listened to in the places of authority. A woman could not even approach the king without his consent. There were no women advisors on the king's table. There were no women on the boardroom. There were no women in that government. A woman's voice was not, it was nothing. And God says, I'm going to use that despised voice to turn around the landscape of my environment. Esther is a woman. Not only is she a woman, but she doesn't have the grooming of a queen.
My God.
Because you see, some of you guys, when you sit in boardrooms and when you sit in meetings, and you come from Mpumalanga, you come from the deepest parts of South Africa, come from the deepest parts of your country, you are suffering from an inferiority complex.
Come on.
You're saying, yes, I'm here, but I feel like an imposter because I know where I truly come from. In my family, nobody has ever come to tertiary. In my family, nobody has ever started a business. In my family, nobody has ever really stood on this table and actually been able to speak. God says, I've given you a voice. And it's, you are going to deliver my word to the king. You are going to deliver my word to the king. So voices come in all shapes and sizes. Do not despise a voice by reason of its cover.
My God. My God. Thank you, Jesus.
Some of you, the Lord has spoken to you through people and you despise them by reason of their cover. I remember a certain woman ministered to me and she said, there was something that happened in her life, a life-changing shift in her life that took place. And she said, there was a person that almost looked mad that was traveling in the streets that caused her to stand. Say, I want to speak to you. I see something that is going to happen in your future. And obviously she thought it was just a madman. Years later, exactly as this man had spoken. Because you see, God will use a donkey if he needs to. God will use people that don't look. God will use people that don't look the parts. But if you're able to perceive the voice of God, you know your word when you receive it. Voices are coming in different and shapes and sizes. And you are a voice. So don't despise yourself because of your cover. I want you to just touch your heart and say, I will not despise myself.
I will not despise myself.
Because of my cover. Because of my background. Because God has factored it all in. While studying the story of Esther, I get excited in my spirit. I get excited in my spirit because when God is about to do something powerful and new, there are things, strange things that begin to happen in the atmosphere. For God to strategically position Esther, Vashti had to rebel. Explain to me how a man can get married to a woman. Explain to me how they can live for many years. Explain to me how Vashti can just say, I'm not coming, not today. Do you know why she would say something like that? I want to assert something. We'll see when we get to heaven. You can also ask God. But I'd like to believe that Vashti believed in the love and in the companionship and the friendship and the relationship that she had with the husband. That she would not have thought that her not presenting herself in front of him would cost her her crown. But strange things happen when God is creating room for Esther. Strange things are going to begin to happen in your life when God is creating room for you. Strange things are going to begin to happen in your department. Strange things are going to begin to happen in the ministry of finance when they need to pour out loans for businesses. Strange things are going to begin to happen in the school when they need a leader. Do you know that there are seasons and times even in the lives of siblings where somebody who is not saved has more power and authority in meetings than you do? But strange things begin to happen when God wants to raise an Esther. Strange things begin to happen when God wants to raise an intercessor. Strange things begin to happen when God wants to give the rightful power to the believer. Because the believer can shift and change atmospheres. Because the believer is able to navigate the corridors of power and lead more people into the kingdom. The believer is able to lead the whole family to salvation. I declare and decree that strange things are going to begin to happen to you in your family. Strange things are going to begin to happen to you in your department at work. Strange things are going to begin to happen at school. Vashtis are going to begin to fall. People that had high authorities, high powers, high boards that were standing and holding the deliverance of the children of God, they're beginning to fall. Crowns are being taken from people that least expected, people that least deserve it. They're going to be given to Esther because Esther has a voice. Esther has a word. Esther has a word from the Lord. Strange things happen. I want you to tell yourself, the Lord will do strange things in my life. The Lord will do strange things in my life. The Lord is doing strange things in people's lives. I believe it strongly. The Lord is doing strange things in people's lives. I want Esther to know this afternoon, Esther, that even at your most frustrated, Esther, you are still favored.
Amen. That's right.
Because do you know that it takes favor for Mordecai to take Esther after her parents had died and take care of her? So he can rightfully position Esther for leadership. How many people do you know that became orphans and never had anyone to take care of them? So even at your most frustrated, Esther, I want you to know that God is still with you. God is still shining his light upon you. God still has his eyes on you. He takes care of the beds. He will take care of you. He lifts up the king. He will lift you up. He elevates those that have his word in his mouth, in their mouth. He will lift you up. So even Esther, at her most frustrated, she was still favored. Many people think that when issues of life are happening, that the favor of the Lord has been taken away from them. Many people think that when life goes south, that God goes south with life. I have come to declare to you that we serve a God that neither sleeps nor slumbers on his job. He neither sleeps nor slumbers on his job. Doesn't look like it right now, but his eye is on the sparrow. on you. I'm learning from the story of Esther that God uses some of the most unassuming situations to raise us up. I'm in an unassuming situation. There's a lot of things I don't understand about my life. Anybody else? God is at work. God is at work. God is at work. God is always working. God is always moving. God is always working. God is always moving. I feel like saying that for the third time for somebody. God is always working. God is always moving. You are not forgotten. You are not left behind. Because God has planted a voice and a message in you. And for every voice that He has given to every individual sitting in this place, some voices are in the form of ministries. Some voices are in the form of businesses. Some voices are in the form of serving other people. Some voices are in the form of NGOs, books, blogs, you name it, songs. They're sitting and gathered around in here. Some voices are family voices of power, family voices that direct the direction that family goes. For every voice, there is a problem. Because you see, there's got to be a problem for a voice to really rise up and fix an issue. So, for every voice God has given us, He will create a problem for it. And let me tell you something exciting this morning. Problems naturally gravitate towards their solutions. Digest that. Do you have a lot of problems? Problems naturally gravitate towards their solutions. So you're the woman for the job. You're the woman for the job. You're the woman for that situation. You're the one that can handle that mess. You're the one that can handle that trial. You're going to come up with a testimony. You're coming out with a message. You're coming out with an encounter. You're going higher and higher. You're being lifted and elevated because problems naturally gravitate towards their solutions. Esther was permitted to encounter a problem because God wanted her voice to be heard. So you're going to find out that even in your industry, where God's planted you, even in your boardroom, even in your meeting, even in your company, even in your ministry, problems are going to start arising. God has not left you. God wants the voice that is planted in the inside of you to come out. Thank you, Holy Spirit. God wants the voice that is planted in you to come out. God knew that hidden in Esther's voice was the power to save His people. He had strategically positioned her so that she could be able to release a word to the king that would save his people. So Esther is in the palace and she hears that her people face real danger of being killed. And Mordecai says something powerful. He says, don't think that you will be disqualified. Because you see, a lot of us think that we're going to be disqualified from the issues that God is pressing upon our hearts to speak about concerning our families. Many of us think that we're going to be disqualified from. God gives you a word. God says, I want you to take care of the widows. And you have excuse after excuse. And God says, in your taking care of the widow, there is a solution for your own life. Let me explain this in the way that I see it. Deliverance is going to come anyways. So you're blessed that you've been chosen. And because we're interconnected, don't ever think that you not doing what God has asked you to do is going to disqualify you from the pain. From the pain of whatever it is that he is wanting you to fix.
Wow.
Okay, you're in a company. There is a lot of injustice that's taking place. The Spirit of the living God is giving you boldness to rise up and stand and go to the branch manager and to speak to him about what's happening to lower level employees. God says, don't think that you're going to be disqualified from the ramifications, from the issues that are going to take place by reason of you keeping quiet and allowing the problem to persist. Because you see, some of us have been lifted and raised by God so much that we think that we are untouchable. We've been strategically positioned in places where we are highly cushioned. We're living in privilege. And because you're living in privilege, you're under the assumption that you're going to be disqualified from whatever it is that should take place as a result of you keeping quiet. And God says we're interconnected. You might not see your connection to the people that I'm sending you to. You might not see your connection, but you're interconnected. You are going to feel it somehow. You're going to feel it. And even in the most oddest of ways, when God tells you to go take care of a widow in your area, in your head, you don't get how you living in a lavish, beautiful place like Cape Town could connect to you. God says, I have connected all of you. I have connected all of you. So Mordecai says, don't ever think that just because you have the title, that now because you are living in privilege, that now because you are living in this high place, that I have washed you clean, that I have cleaned you up and I have taken you to a high place of authority and power. Amen. Don't think that if you do not stand for those that don't have voices with your voice that I have given you, that you are not going to be affected. You won't be disqualified when the storm comes. You will try to figure out how this touched you. Have you ever been in situations where you're trying to figure out how did this touch me? How did this come to me? How did this get here? I don't get it. At what point? How? The same way if you don't preach the gospel to the people in the streets, this could be the exact same person that could come and that could break into your house and that could rape you, that could kill your husband and leave you with absolutely nothing, all bank cards taken, and withdraw all the money out of your bank account. For you to connect that, you're too human to get an understanding of the connection that we have sitting here, gathered here. We're all relatives. You're my cousin, I'm your cousin, you're my sister, I'm your sister, and I know sometimes it might not look like it, but we're all interconnected. So if you don't help me, because you're sitting in a place of privilege,
my God.
God says, don't think you'll be disqualified. You're going to feel it in one way or the other. You might not have the spiritual eyes to perceive the connection and where it came from. So God says, you're not going to be disqualified. Mordecai says, you're not going to be disqualified, Esther. I know the king loves you, but you're not going to be disqualified. You'll be shocked at how this issue will also affect you. And you're going to be shocked as don't think you'll be disqualified. Don't think you'll be disqualified. So this should give you an agency to do what the Lord asks you to do. Because you're not going to be disqualified. Some of you, the Lord has told you to start praying and interceding for your families, to break curses, to break altars, to start intentionally fasting, start intentionally standing at the gap and breaking specific altars, demonic altars that have been erected in your families. Start persisting in prayer and intercession concerning some issues, some bloodline issues that are in your family that are affecting other people that have not yet started to affect you. And you think because you are now in a place of privilege, maybe because you now have money, you think, oh no, that won't touch me because I've already passed the threshold of not having money. How many of you know people that have had money and don't have money anymore? Because you see, when the Spirit comes after you, when those type of things come after you, and God says, intercede. Because I understand the connection. Because I understand how what I have asked you to do is going to still affect you if you don't do it. Mordecai says to Esther, Esther, you will not be disqualified. Esther had no political background. She had no experience navigating the corridors of power, no experience talking to high officials. But the Lord gave her a word. And the word that God had placed over her heart started giving her spiritual intelligence, started giving her wisdom, the ability to talk to the king, the ability to woo the king in her favor, the ability to ask for an audience with the highest man of power in the land, the ability to gain that meeting, the ability to know that you just don't go to a person of power and say your issue. You cook for them, you sit them down, you play music, you talk to them. Wisdom to navigate the corridor of power, just so she could deliver the word of the Lord over the king. You see, God will give you spiritual intelligence to navigate the places where you feel you're never going to be able to navigate. You see, some of you don't know the how, but you've just been given the what. Go with the what. God will give you the how. God will give you the strategy. God will give you the model. God will give you the business plan. God will give you the partners. God has given me the partners. When he told me, I said, I don't know how to host a conference. I don't know how to put things together. I don't know how to get people to come to a place and to gather around. God will give you partners. God will strategically position you. God will move you into places where you will start to understand spiritual intelligence about where he's setting you for. God will give you the right people. God will give you funders. God will give you sponsors. God is saying, I will give it to you if you will just move into position. Move into position. Move into position. Move into position. God will give you the boldness. God will give you the courage. God will give you the wisdom. Hallelujah. Thank you, Holy Spirit. God will give you the persistence. He will give you the oil of favor. And when you speak, it will be relevant. Come on. The Bible says the king in that season just felt like blessing the men who had delivered him in one season. How do you explain that in the moment that Esther steps into position, the king receives a frustration? He just feels like blessing someone. How do you explain that when Esther steps into position, the way is being made for her? How do you explain that the king just feels like asking the people that read the books to come and read so that he can just find someone to bless? How do you explain that this person just happens to be Mordecai? How do you explain that Mordecai just happens to be Esther's uncle? How do you explain that Esther has a word that will deliver multiple people? How do you explain that? How do you calculate that? How do you put that on a book? How do you make that make sense? It sounds like fiction, but this is what the Lord will begin to do for somebody. This afternoon, the Lord is saying that as you step forward, that I'm going to start making a way for you. I'm going to make a way where there seems to be no way. I'm going to open doors high and wide as you come. I'm going to open up every stubborn situation and remove every barricade, every blockade, every hindrance. And I'm going to strategically position you into your place of power. How do you explain it?
Thank you, Jesus.
It's almost as though all this shifting started to happen because of the step. I want you to just stand up. I just want you to prophetically just step. Tell yourself, I'm stepping. I'm stepping into my destiny. Look around again. I'm stepping into my destiny. Stepping into my assignment. Stepping into my vision. Stepping into my ministry. Let's go. I say yes. Yes, I'm stepping in. Because my step is going to cause a shift. My step is going to cause a move. My step is causing God to strategically position every resource I need. The step caused the shift. The step caused the shift. The step caused the shift. The shift moves because of the step. The Lord is speaking to you this afternoon. That you're stepping out shifting. You're stepping out shifting. I'm aligning you. I'm moving people out of the way. I'm opening up an audience that was not even permitted for a woman. I'm causing you to go to the king. I'm giving you a word. I'm giving you favor. I'm giving you sound words to speak to him. I'm giving you the audience once again. Because sometimes you need a couple of times to go to the bank to get that loan for that business. Because sometimes you need a couple of meetings with that person that you're trying to get saved to get them to come to Christ. Because sometimes you just need a couple of times. God says, I'll give it over over and over again, as long as you step, I'm shifting. As long as you step, I'm shifting. I've got you. You're moving and I'm moving for you.
Hallelujah.
Books are in this place. Blogs are in this place. Music is in this place. Ministries are in this place. Women of power are in this place. Women of authority are in this place. First ladies are in this place. And that's it. Woo! People of governments are in this place. Ministers are in this place. In this house is strategically positioned people that actually listen to this word. And this word is not for any ordinary woman. This word is for a woman like you. If you came in here, you just got qualified by stepping in here. The Lord had chosen you. The Lord had already said yes to you. The Lord had already given you a word and now he's just stirring it up. He says, I'm stirring. Just make a move. Just make a move and I'll shift on your behalf. That's a word for somebody, yes. As Esther moved, the Lord moved. As Esther moved, the Lord moved. As I'm closing, I just want you to close your eyes from wherever you are. You know your word. You know your voice. You know the assignment that God has placed over your life. And sometimes you don't need a massive assignment. You just need to say yes to the smaller one so he can show you the other one. I didn't come in here by starting a conference. I promise you. I started a Facebook post. And a Facebook post turned into a blog. And a blog turned into a book. And a book turned into a YouTube channel. And a YouTube channel turned into a conference. And a conference turned into a hosting heaven planner. And a hosting heaven planner turned into a... And it keeps moving. Because you see, you like to big things too much. You like big things too much. Things that start big are very abnormal. Start small. Start from wherever you are. That small thing. Lord, my small little bakery, I'm starting it from my kitchen. Lord, my small little knitting fashion industry, I'm starting it in my lounge with my one small tailoring machine. Lord, that book, I'm starting it as just an encouragement in that group that someone else, you don't even need to open the book. Go to someone else's group and just start pouring. And the Lord says, I found you faithful, I'll give you another level. Oh, you're faithful there, I'll give you another level. Oh, you're faithful there, I'll give you that level. Oh, you're faithful there, let's keep praising you. Because you're faithful with every assignment that God gives you.
Come on.
Esther did not disqualify herself. Esther starts small. Esther, you have a word. Have you not been chosen for such a time as this? Have you not been appointed for such a time as this? Has God not given you that word for such a time as this? It's your time, Esther. It's your time, Esther. Destinies are depending on you. Lives are depending on you. Families are depending on you.